How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new post-commentary locals feature match. We've got Earth Machines versus Kozmo, and quite the dice roll battle going on right now, but I think I do end up taking it, so I will get to go first. And yes, I am piloting the Earth Machine deck. I believe this is from, April 10th's locals, so a couple weeks ago. And there is going to be 1 week that's missing because there was a week of locals that was canceled. So if anybody was wondering why, there's going to be a little bit of a jump between, I believe, this set of feature matches and the next. Well, not the next, the following one. That is why. But we get started with Harvester. Harvester successfully resolves, which is great. And then so does Dozer, even better. And, you know, Derek Crane getting searched here off of the River Stormer. And if we're searching Derek Crane, you already know what that means. We probably already have Bullet in hand. It doesn't probably mean it. We actually do 100% have it. If you've ever seen Earth Machine player search Derek Crane, it's probably because A, they don't know the combo, or B, they already have Bullet in hand, which is going to allow them essentially to end on number 81 to make an even better board, because number 81 is just such a hard card for most decks to deal with, especially if Derek Crane is attached as material, or even Goliath too, making it just so it just inherently can't be destroyed by card effects. And you know, with a card like Heavy Forward in the deck, you can pretty much make sure that card always has material to protect most of your plays. So standard Infinitrack combo going through here. We're resolving Tunneler, we're putting back Dozer, and 3 instances of Goliath alongside Ancient Gear Ballista. The only thing that would make this hand better would be, you know, to resolve Overdrive on top of it from the grave to put back a Trencher and a Tunneler, or next turn have the ability, or my turn 3, or turn 3 in general, to be able to resolve that. That's why I keep talking about it. Urgent Schedule, or not Urgent Schedule, but Foolish Burial Goods sounds so very enticing in this deck. And I talked about it a lot in the most recent episode of One Deck, 1 Month, which you guys should go check out if you haven't already. That'll be annotated up in the top right. Definitely a really, really good episode. A lot of details there, a lot of information. So definitely go check it out. It took me a long time to put together too, so the more people that check it out, the better. So yeah, that does it for my turn. End phase, we use Derek Crane to detach, target itself. Bull adds back Harvester. Now my opponent's pretty skilled to get started with Harpy Feather Duster, which is pretty good because it hits a set Wing Blast, which I'm no longer playing. And a set Torrential Tribute, which I am still playing because Torrential Tribute is really, really good, let's be honest. And my opponent does have the Kaiju, the Thunder King Kaiju, for the number 81. So successfully outed, which is unfortunate. And then he follows up with a copy of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which I believe I do have an Ash in hand, but I was debating, you know, do I Ash this or do I just chain Knuckle to this just to get Bullet out onto the field, so that will die by the Slumber, so I can get that end phase add back, which is what I end up deciding to do. And, you know, it would have been better if I had a Citadel engraved too, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? So the board has been completely cleared at this point. Very unfortunate. And my opponent is going to summon a Gamma Seal to my field and a Radiant to his field, and going to normal summon Kozmo Goodwitch, attacking over Gamma Seal with Radiant for, I believe, 600, and then swinging in for, I believe, 15 with Goodwitch. I could be wrong. I can't remember its exact stats. Yeah, so we take a little bit of damage here, dropping myself down to 5,900. And in battle phase still, he's going to tag out for Goodwitch, or Dark Lady, rather, not Goodwitch. Goodwitch tagging out for Dark Lady, swinging for another 22, then playing Kozmo Town to add back Goodwitch by paying 400 life points, or paying 100 life points per level of the banished Kozmo monster that he is adding back to his hand, so in this case 4. And now going to use the other effect of Kozmo Town, one of its 3 effects, to go ahead and shuffle any amount of Kozmo cards back into the deck from his hand to draw that same amount of cards. So basically just like a mulligan here, trying to fix his hand. Because right now, as it stands, he only has a monster negate via Dark Lady, which he will use in the end phase to negate my Bullet's effect. So he'll pay 1,000 for that. And during his turn, or my turn again here, you know, he'll have that monster negate again to work with. But I do have Urgent Schedule, which is really strong. You see, we're going to summon out Fortress and Harvester here. Absolutely incredible cards to have in this instance. These 2 cards alone will get me full combo if, you know, everything, you know, goes according to plan. Another thing I do have to worry about in his grave right now, he does have Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which next turn you could easily banish to go ahead and grab another Kaiju and tribute over any big monster that I might make. And Kaijus are going to be really good because, of course, it's not going to trigger Citadel because it is not being destroyed. So I am going to send a Fortress from my side of the field to bring back Knuckle, activating Heavy Forward here to add Trencher. And basically that Knuckle was just kind of bait for the Dark Lady, which he did not take. So I was a little worried about that. So I was like, all right, we'll continue here. We're going to link into Goliath. We're going to send it for cost for River Stormer, and we'll see if he takes the bait here. And he does. He'll pay another instance of 1,000, dropping him down to 56 here. And now at this point, Stormer has been negated. And already have used a Urgent Schedule. Still have a Fortress engraved. So I end up pitching a Trencher and a Dozer, it looks like, to bring back Fortress, and then banishing that Trencher to bring out that Harvester here to resolve Harvester effect. So we're going to be able to kind of go off here a little bit. We're going to be able to make a rank 9 play possibly. And also one other thing I want to point out, yeah, having an Overdrive right now would be really, really good because I'd be able to recycle both my banished Trenchers and that one Tunneler, which would allow me to have searched a Trencher there, or a Tunneler off of that Harvester instead of a Drill. That way I could, you know, sort of Pot of Avarice once more. I use Ender Blathinder to banish the Dark Lady. I probably should have just banished the Kozmo Town. The only reason I was worried about, you know, banishing something other than that was because he could possibly, like, maybe tag out in the battle phase when I try to go to swing over it, which would have been kind of problematic. So I think in hindsight, I definitely should have gotten rid of the field spell as opposed to getting rid of the Dark Lady on board. But, you know, it is what it is. So I use in main phase 2 here, Heavy Forward to switch that Enter Blathinder to defense because I just want to kind of protect against something like Farm Girl or any way that he can do damage over any of my monsters. Just try to wall up a little bit and make sure I have a bit more of a defensive board here. He does have a Kaiju, though, however, for my Knuckle again. That was his draw off the mulligan from his Kozmo Town. And looks like he drew a Slip Rider for turn here. Pays another 600 to add back the Dark Lady to his hand, and then shuffling the Slip Rider and Dark Lady back into the deck to draw 2. Hoping he, you know, finds something here to actually make a play. It looks like he finds another Kozmo Town and an Allure. He's going to play the new Kozmo Town and goes for the blind Allure, but I do have the Ash for it. And at that point, he just goes ahead and scoops, and we're going to take it to game 2. Hey guys, just wanted to let you all know that Imperium Duelist has come out with some brand new products. The first being their Fire Attribute deck box, following up the Dark Attribute deck box they did a few months back. Really, really nice interior color as well. They also just came out with a brand new 9-pocket binder, looking pretty slick, themed after the spell Magic Formula. Got some nice white pages there, and some nice artwork on the front and back of the binder with the zipper as well. Actually pretty handy feature. And last but not least, my playmat Blazing Permafrost is still available. It's a limited supply of these, and once they're gone, they are gone. So go ahead and grab one now if you haven't. And you can get all this stuff for 10% off using my discount code WinterKill, sent off at checkout, and of course support the channel in the process. And as always, a reminder to you guys to not forget to use my affiliate link I have to TCGplayer and drawphase.com, both of which can be found in the descriptions of all my videos. If you guys shop and check out using those links, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back to the channel, and believe me, it helps out way more than you think. And also consider becoming a member of the channel today by clicking that blue join button below or at the link in the description for more information. So here in game 2, my opponent, of course, definitely wanting to go first with this deck. For those that don't know, Kozmo, a very control-based strategy. At least it definitely can be a control-based strategy. It can also be kind of a bit of a going second deck as well. You know, with Farm Girl and Dark Destroyer and Slip Rider being able to do a lot of board clearing and, you know, piling on a lot of damage in the process. But he is going to resolve Allure. He's going to resolve Kozmo Town here, just trying to see into possibly some side deck cards, as well as, you know, some more just engine pieces in general. Looks like he drew a DD Crow off that for one of the draws. Finds Kozmo Tin Can. which happens to be one of the best sort of like starters for the deck. It really just wants to do this, set some back row possibly, and resolve a tin can, paying 500 in the end phase to reveal 3 Kozmo cards, I believe, or Kozmo monsters, and then one of them gets added to the hand randomly. Or yeah, one of them gets added to the opponent's hand. Opponent chooses randomly. Looks like I did hand him the Dark Destroyer. He also tags out for Dark Lady, so I do have to worry about a monster pop and a monster negate, or a pop and a monster negate via Dark Destroyer. But he also has Imperial Order on the activation of that Heavy Forward, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to set the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast as well as another copy of Heavy Forward. And I just got to pass there because I really don't want to commit to this field right now. Because he's got a monster negate, if I normal summon my Harvester, it's definitely not going to resolve. So it's just going to pass it over to him. He's going to swing in for 22, dropping me down to 58. And he's also going to pay that 700 for order as well. Definitely a worthwhile 700 pay here for him. And then in the end phase, I believe, I go ahead and activate Phoenix Wing Wind Blast to stack that order back to the top of his deck. That's going to at least that's going to get the order off the field, and it's also going to mess up his draw for next turn, ensure that, he's not drawing in anything crazy. He's just going to draw into the order again, and hopefully I can establish a board in the meantime to make it so when he does see that order, it's really not going to do anything for him. But I still, again, have to play through a Dark Lady, have to play through a Dark Destroyer as well. It's going to be very, very tough here for the Earth Machine strategy to do so. We normal summon the Harvester. I'm hoping at this point, please let this effect resolve. And I don't think that he does. Yeah, so I was at a bit of an impasse here. Yeah, so yeah, he does actually negate here, pays 1,000. I was at a bit of an impasse because I had Dozer in hand. And I was like, do I not even use Harvester and try to use Dozer? See what he negates, but, ultimately it wouldn't matter. If he would have negated the Dozer, I would be in just as a worse opposition. If he would have negated the Harvester, still in just a worse opposition. He also has Monster Reborn to make things worse. He swings in with that Dark Eclipser for 3k, I believe. And then, yeah, it just swings in with the Dark Destroyer too, and we're just already into game 3 just like that. Where you bet I'm going to be going first here. We start off by pitching Bullet and Fortress for Fortress, or just pitching the Bullet for Fortress. And that gives me Tribute Fodder for Dozer. And I also got the Derricrane to Chain Block here, just so I can ensure that the Dozer is safe from something like Ash. Then we go ahead and Xyz into the River Stormer here, and we're just going to, again, kind of proceed into the standard combo. My opponent looks like he opened Forerunner, Cosmic Cyclone, Raigeki, and Monster Reborn alongside a Kozmo Town. So quite a bit of spells, quite a bit of removal there. Going to be pretty good to go up against, the board that I'm going to be setting up. Having that Cosmic Cyclone is going to be pretty good. We do like to set a lot of back row with this deck, so having the Cosmic is definitely a huge heads up here. Raigeki, really not too big of a concern, especially because, could possibly trigger Citadel. You could just chain Knuckle to it, get an end phase add back. Again, really not a huge concern here. So I do have the Derricrane. So I was thinking, with the current board that I have, I'm like, is there any way I could possibly, set up a rank 10 play here? And I don't really think there was a way. Yeah, because I had to link off the Derricrane here to keep going, unfortunately. And it also looks like I do have a Citadel engraved that I might have discarded off of a Fortress as well. So we're going to use the Tunneler now to recycle the Derricrane here, actually. Because the Derricrane is something I want in the deck to be able to search out off of something like River Stormer. Because it's actually more useful, Derricrane being in the deck, than it is right now being in the graveyard, especially if it's in the grave alongside Bullet. Yeah, I believe I used River Stormer to send Citadel to the grave, since I had already opened both Bullet and Derricrane. In hand, we have Gozen Match and Torrential Tribute. And we also have Box, and I don't know if I actually drew into Derricrane again. If I did, that's actually really funny. But end phase, Bullet is going to add back the Harvester, or the Dozer, I believe, because I don't think I had a Harvester in the grave. But my opponent is debating on starting with the Cosmic, but looks like he's going to go for the Raigeki, which of course I do chain Knuckle to. So Knuckle resolves summoning Bullet, and then Raigeki resolves destroying Bullet, and then since an Earth Machine I control was destroyed, Citadel gets summoned on a new chain. So now I have another sort of Raigeki waiting for him. He was wondering, if the Citadel dies, but it would not, because again, Citadel is coming out on a new chain after the Raigeki resolves. So now I have a Torrential, I have a Gozen match, and I also have a Citadel. So again, feeling pretty solid here. He's going to go ahead and activate Cosmic. He ends up hitting the Torrential, which is kind of good. The only reason I decided Gozen match in because I know Dark Destroyer is a dark, and some of the other Cosmos are light, like Tin Can. So if I can get Gozen up while he's got Tin Can on field before he can get like Dark Destroyer in his hand, I'm going to feel really, really good because he's not going to be able to tag out, which is definitely advantageous for me because if I keep him from getting Dark Destroyer, if I can keep him from getting Dark Lady, we're going to be in a really okay spot. And, the deck likes to put out like light monsters first, things like Strawman, Tin Can, these light monsters, smaller light monsters that tag out into the bigger monsters. I don't think Gozen match looking back was probably the best call. If I had it in the side deck at the time like I do now, I would have definitely have sided Anti-Spell and Fragrance against this particular matchup, but it wasn't in the side deck yet at this point. My opponent does have Monster Reborn here again, but he brings back the Bullet, and he didn't really bother to read the Bullet beforehand. So, he's quick to realize you have to send 2 other cards you control to the grave to be able to attack with it. But not really a big deal either way since I've still got Citadel on my field holding down the fort. So he's just going to pass there, and I got the Heavy Forward. Heavy Forward is going to grab Harvester, and we're just going to quite literally go off to the races here. Harvester is going to search, not Harvester and Trencher, but just Trencher because that's all we need. I find a lot of times in turn 3, I like to search something like Trencher off of a Harvester or Heavy Forward. Because oftentimes I'll just keep that in hand to tribute off the Harvester with, to use for Link Fodder to get River Stormer out and then also get a revive from the grave. Or in this case, since I have Fortress set up, I can pitch, something like the Trencher and the Drill like I'm going to do now to bring back Fortress. And now I can sort of banish Trencher, summon the Drill, and then Drill can summon the box. So yeah, you don't ever really want to resolve Dozer turn 3 because it's going to lock you out of so many amazing cards. I use Heavy 4 to switch the River Stormer to attack, and we just go into battle phase, and he's already down 1,000 from Cosmic, and that is going to be game right then and there. So Earth Machine taking the match 2-1 against Kozmo. Pretty interesting match. Both very grindy, sort of control-based decks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this feature match. If you did, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and share the video with a friend. It helps the channel out quite a bit. And also consider subscribing if you haven't already. We are extremely close to 20,000 subs, and I could not be more excited for that. So thank you guys again for watching. Be on the lookout for more feature matches. And yeah, as always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, a special thanks goes to all the members supporting this channel, and a special thanks to our Divine Level channel members and their Zors and Chatelax84. Thank you guys so much for your continued and very generous support of the channel.